we got a brother who was killed by his white girlfriend, and I really wasn't going to cover this story no way because I see these kinds of scenarios all the time where black people are killed by their white significant other, their white counterparts, and my stance on it has always been black man for black women, vice versa. And at least if you ain't going to lay with someone fully black, make sure that person is biracial, which in turn represents that they got some kind of black in them at the end of the day. Now I know ultimately people going to do what they want to do. At the end of the day, these are just my stance on things and my thoughts on the matter. And I can't even say that I feel sorry for this brother in all actuality, no way, because he had an extreme hatred for black women, which in turn represents him having extreme hatred for himself. And black or not, anyone that puts down and degrades black women, my sisters, is now become my enemy. They found several disparaging and degrading remarks in terms of how he viewed black women on his social media accounts. They found posts such as, white women over black women, team white women are fun. They even found a post, with this coon and his white woman that unalived him with the caption reading, I'll die about her. And this coon, not to be insensitive, his behind sure did die about her, die from the hands of her rather. So at the end of the day, I hope that white cootie cat was worth it to him because this brother paid the ultimate price. And that ultimate price being that brother paid with his life. See, some black folks who lack a black mind think just because they get somebody from white society, in a relationship with them and they get that person on their arm, that this represents some kind of trophy or prestigious status symbol, when it's just the opposite. You get in the lower tier of white society, the bench warmers who couldn't make the cut in the white society. And I also, for the life of me, it really boggles my mind why some black people would even choose to lay white in all actuality, knowing the historical wrongs and even things on up until this day that have been orchestrated by their community against ours. You know how many white women, you know, told a lie and got a black person, unjustly locked up for years and maybe died behind prison bars, or they got that brother strung up in a tree all because she said that he took something from her, which she consented to, it was mutual. And at the end of the day, when she gets caught, she runs around screaming bloody rape. So I don't rock with that, and I think some of our people, black folks, need to start, taking this relationship thing and looking at it, more strategically, like a business relationship, like a business transaction, because in all actuality, a relationship, although it's not specified, it is a business relationship and it is a transaction because y'all exchanging money, funds, resources. And when you lay with a non-black person, that money in all actuality goes into their community at the end of the day. And we as foundational black Americans can't afford to have any money go outside of our community. We need all the money and that resources to stay in foundational black American society. Now, I don't know if this brother was FBA or not. I'm just giving my enlightenment on things and, speaking about things from my perspective. So I got the audio and the video of this brother's coon behind, and we're going to walk through it and talk about it how we normally do, family. Fair use.
An arrest has been made in a shooting in Burke County. The Burke County Sheriff's Office announced today that Hannah Grace Cobb was charged with involuntary manslaughter in the death of Telvin Osborne.
I think something that also need to be specified. They said that allegedly her father was a cop, and they were trying to sweep this case under the rug. And I ain't advocating for this brother, no way. But they said that her father could allegedly be a cop, and they was trying to sweep it under the rug. And the reason why I'm not advocating for this brother is he had an extreme hatred for black women, my sisters. And anybody that black or not that got a hatred towards my sisters has now become my enemy. But let's continue.
Osborne was shot in the chest at a home on 4 Points Road on Sunday and pronounced dead at the hospital. Investigators say alcohol was involved and the shooting was not accidental.
The offenses committed leading up to the discharge of the firearm included simple battery, family violence, and reckless conduct. It is reckless to go out and get drunk and then introduce a firearm into an argument. It is reckless to engage in an argument where there's pushing and shoving going on. And those are the predicate charges for the charge of involuntary manslaughter.
Sheriff Williams says more charges could be coming as the investigation continues.
Yeah, this brother paid the ultimate price, and that ultimate price being his life. So at the end of the day, I hope that white cootie cat was worth it for him, because one thing for sure, two things for certain. He for sure as hell was a coon, and he had an extreme hatred for black women, which in turn represents him having a hatred for himself. Now I ain't no religious person or no Bible thumper. In fact, I'm a spiritual person, but I think some of the things that, lie in these religious textbooks, can be applicable, but of course you gotta use discernment. And one of the things I want to add, some enlightenment about, in terms of this story, what we seen going on with his brother, him losing his life at the hands of a Becky, is that Hosea 4:6 says, "My people die from a lack of knowledge," and this brother certainly died from a lack of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And I think it's certainly applicable in terms of this case. Just my thoughts on the matter. Peace.